Not a bad way to start the day, that's for sure. Not a bad way to start the day. Sorry I don't announce my live streams a little bit more, have a little bit more advance notice on them, but I usually don't know what the signal's going to be. I don't know what my signal's going to be or how busy I'm going to be, so yeah, just kind of hit and miss. I think folks watch them on the replays more often than not, so, but we are here. Picking up one and shifting one here at Hickman Point. A little ways above Blythe. We're in Blythe area. Oh yeah, a little crisp and cool. Crisp, cool morning. Always a neat view. But yeah, that's what I got. Just getting our morning going. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. A little hazy on the water, a little wispy fog on the water out there. Nothing big, just a little wispy. See it down in through there. But it's a beautiful morning. Yeah, you can't beat it. Really can't beat that. You know. It's a little cool, trying to heat up, Ooh. A little chilly. Shut my doors up, get my coffee going. Well, second cup of coffee actually. We've got a little delay. This morning they're getting the tugs, checking their fleets, doing their crew changes and all that, and then they will be down here getting with us shortly. So, in the meantime, we get a little chance to get a little coffee in me. Guys kind of get their wake up, get a little wake up, get the breakfast in them, get all that stuff. But yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Just can't beat it. Can't beat it. The quiet. It's yeah. Trying to answer some of the questions that I've been getting I've got a lot of new subscribers and such. So I get a lot of repeat questions, but the ones yesterday that were getting me, I was getting a lot of questions on I guess people think it's just me in the wheelhouse, it's just me in the boat. And they don't, because I really don't catch much of the other guys. Number one, I mean, I don't, unless I get specific permission from them and stuff like that, I really don't like shooting other people. I like catching the views and stuff more than anything. But yeah, I talk to folks. We've got 8-person crew on here. We've got 2 wheelmen. We've got me and a pilot. We've got a 4-man deck crew, which is a mate, a second mate, and 2 deckhands, 2 on each watch. Well, mate and a deckhand on each watch, and then chief engineer and our full-time cook Barbara's on here. So we've got an 8-person crew on this boat. Generally, that's what they run. We'll run a 4 to 5-man deck crew most of the time. So 8 or 9 people on the boat all the time. Running 24/7, 365. We've got it basically set up to where we've got 2 crews on here. You've got a wheelman and 2 deck for each watch, and we get it done. The chief, he works. Generally, the chief will work his daylight hours. They've kind of chief engineers. They're in a world of their own back there. So they work their schedule. I don't know. Some guys work a regular captain schedule, stay on the captain's watch. Some of them work daylight hours. Some of them, I don't know. They're vampires, I think. Um, and then our cook Barbara, she obviously she has 3 meals a day that she prepares. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the way it is. Um, but yeah, that was the question. That was thinking that it was a boat. Oh, it was the temperature, like thinking I was cold and stuff. Man, I've got a California Queen down there with a memory foam mattress on it and a big screen TV, my own bathroom. Well, actually, on this boat, it's set up to me and the pilot share a bathroom. But since we're not down there at the same time, it's yeah, have my own bathroom. Oh, I've got a desk in the captain's room on this one, actually a little desk, but yeah, they're set up. I mean, some boats are a little bit nicer, a little bit more roomy than others, but for the most part, they're not bad. None of these boats that I ride are bad at all. They're very comfortable. Um, yeah, and this boat's fairly quiet, and she's not bad. She's not the floating cabin style like some of them that they have, the newer style floating cabins where it is just literally you can't tell that you're on a boat on a lot of these boats. You don't hear any engine noise. They're just quiet. They're actually too quiet sometimes. But this one's the 70s era. I think 70 might be early 80s. I can't remember when. So what date is this girl? Man, I gotta go look. I'm not sure what year she was built. Let me see. Um, Neville Island, Pennsylvania, January 1st, 1980. She's an 80 model vessel. I've rode a lot of the 70s era vessels that they have of these Dravos, but this one's a 80 model. But she's pretty comfortable. She's actually very comfortable. Boat coming by. Oh, that's speaking of pretty boats. SCF Explorer. That's one of those big Christian Townsend design triple screw Z drives. Big new. That's one of the new. That's the new style of vessel that we have out here now. I'm sorry about that. It's shaking, huh? There. Those are beautiful vessels. Big SCF boat, big triple screw Z drives. That's a new the style of vessel that we've. Sorry about that. No. There. Sorry. Yeah, it's a beautiful morning, y'all. SCF Explorer coming by. Well, he got 30. Look like he's got 30. We'll eventually have 30. We're getting picking one up here. We're gonna shift a bow piece around to there, so we'll have 3-piece unit right here, and then these 4 strings are done. And Memphis will fill out that string, and then Helena will start on another. And then we pick up on down. Look at that though. Come on, y'all. Let me stabilize this a little. Sorry, I'm jerky. Look at that. Yeah. Pretty morning. Really pretty morning. It's a little cool out here too. But anyway. So gonna be getting with us fairly shortly. But yeah, look at that. Come on, man. That's a for real view, y'all. Waiting on our tug to come bring our barge. Meantime, we just sit and enjoy this sunrise, I think. Let me get my things set up here so I'm not moving around so much. There. Yeah. It doesn't get much better than that, y'all. It doesn't get much better than that. A little haze over on the bank over a little fog, a kind of wispy fog rising off the water. Nothing crazy. I don't know what the temperature is here this morning. It's not freezing. I think it's maybe low 40s, up there, upper 30s. It's a little cool out. A little cool out. Like I said, we are about, what is that? 70. We're about 90 miles upriver from Memphis. Um, Down from Crothersville away. Blyville's down the river, just a little around the turn down that way. And Hickman Point is where we're at right now. So, on a beautiful late January morning on the Mississippi River. Yeah, it's nice out. It's just nice, peaceful looking. A little cool, but it's just nice. This is actually ideal working weather for me, I think. Just works around low 40s. That's about right. Let's see, we're going down on a term. Yeah, it's a nice morning, y'all. Definitely a blessed morning. Definitely a blessed morning. Yeah. It's nice. It is nice. It's a pretty morning. Oh, yeah. Can't beat it. Somebody wants to know what's the most barges I've ever pushed. 63. I think I've answered that a few times lately. 63 barges. And that was, it was a unique situation. We were northbound with, I think we had 30 something barges northbound, and we were right around this area. I was on the Ray A. Eckstein, and it was actually doing my check ride as the first trip I've made over at Marquette. We were on the Ray A. I was on there with Captain Henry and Captain Bill Winders, and we were northbound um, down this area, and the Randy Eckstein had the same amount of barges, 30 plus, and he was down on one engine, so they combined the tows together, and we just shoved. So basically, with the Randy down, but they were empties. I think there may have been a load or two in there, but it was a 63 barge tow with empties, and it was amazing looking. It was amazing looking. And I can't, they did, that was back in '02, '03. I think it was '02. Yeah, it had to have been. Um, it was amazing. Now, as far as just, regular tow and anything, 35 barge tow, 35 loads southbound. That's about as big as this gets. That's, empty tows. I think I've pushed 42 northbound on an empty tow before. Yeah, I've had, we've done 42, I think. So, generally I'm in the 25 to 35 barge southbound range, and then, northbound empties, but yeah. I'm hoping to get a chance when they bring out that that boat is going to be the beast of the Mississippi. Oh, Captain Bobby. I talked to Bobby yesterday. He was on William, which is another beautiful vessel over here. But the old ex Joe Bob Zine is the one that they've got over here, and it's the anyway. They refurbed that whole vessel. They raised the wheelhouse on it another deck. Put three new. I'm pretty sure it's got three 710s in it now. Man, I don't know about engine stuff. It's going to be a big badass boat when they get it out. It's going to be a dandy. But Bobby Wilson's ride. He was on the William yesterday, and I forgot to ask him when he was supposed to get his boat coming out, when they're supposed to have it done. But the Lewis is going to be it's going to be a dandy boat. It's going to be amazing. I've seen the work that they've done on some of these boats, like I say, the William, and 1950s era vessel that is unreal beautiful. It's beautiful. I've got a video on it though, on my YouTube. The William E. Strait, beautiful refurb vessel, 1955 era vessel. I've got a video up on it of my whole walkthrough on that boat, and yeah, it's something else, y'all. It's worth checking out. It's worth checking out. I hadn't read comments. Oh, everybody. Do you have to break down for any locks? No, I'm not on. We are not on Locking River. There's no locks from St. Louis down to the Gulf where we don't deal with any locks on this run south at all. Hey, I'm reading some of the questions. Do they have freelance pilots or do they have to work for a company? Ray, I think you've asked that a few times. Here's the deal. For the most part, guys are regular with the companies, but that's what I did for 10 years or so longer. They call it trip pilot. And, where a pilot just goes and works, for another company as a trip rate. Generally, the way that's done is they pay them a little bit higher day rate because they don't have to pay for the benefits and stuff. So, whereas, say I'm working for a company making my day rate's $1,000 a day with benefits. Well, I go make a trip for for a company at that, they pay me say $1,200 or $1,300 a day instead of the benefits. So yes, they do that. It's a common practice out here for trip. That's all I did for a while. That was, like I said, I can't remember how many years I did. I left from Marquette in 0203, worked the oil field for about 5 years, and then when I came back, I didn't take a regular job. I just tripped for other companies. I had a trip agent that handled all my lining up my work. I just called him and say when I want to go to work and when I want to be home, and he would line up a company for me, and I'd go ride a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever we'd arranged. But yes, they do that. It's kind of, it ebbs and flows, it seems like, on the trip pilot. We've got some trip guys over here, and actually when I came to work over here, I was a trip pilot. I was a regular over here for about 4 years, but I was just a trip pilot. I didn't want to take a regular position. And my theory on that is always when you're a trip pilots and trip captains, the port captain asks you instead of tell you when you're a trip man. But that's kind of, I don't have it. My port captain over here, Ronnie, he's a dandy. Griffith, he's my direct supervisor and who I deal with all the time and lines up my work and this, that, and other. He's who I report to and everything. And Ronnie's kept me happy for I've tried to figure out how many years. I've been 8 years. Oh no, close to 10 years. I think I've been over here. 8-9 years I've been over here. And yeah, Ronnie, I finally it was just an issue. The difference of me working as a trip pilot over here and me taking a regular job was I was just paying for my own insurance. Basically, that's what it came down to. And they've got good insurance, United Healthcare over here. So I just, instead of me writing a monthly $2,000 check for my insurance, I just picked up their benefits here. And like I say, it's this basically trip wages and company folks make about the same. It's just they have a benefit package for regular guys, and if you're trip, you just usually get paid cash, or well, you get paid a day rate. Or you get, instead of your well, you get day rate any regular, but you just don't get the company benefits. They pay you instead. I hope I answered kind of somewhat. Yeah, is that answer, Ray? Yeah, that's it, Ray. They call them trip pilots. It's just a trip pilot instead of freelance, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You just call them trip guys. And that's all I had. That was my desire. That was really the model for what I wanted my river career to be, and it has been. Was when I worked in the office at WKN. We had Bobby Partridge. I'll say Bobby Partridge. Folks that know the river know Bobby, but he was. That's what he was. He would come over and get on the boats, and they paid him. He worked for a company regular, another material services up at Chicago, but he would trip for other companies. And what I was impressed with him was number one, they paid him that extra money, and but he didn't have regular. He would go. He could go get on any boat, any river, anywhere, any situation, anytime. It didn't matter. That was what he was. He was just good. He could send him anywhere. And I just always remember thinking that was so cool, man. Like a hired gun. Well, not like it was a hired gun. And we had a couple of guys like that. Judge Long, Judge, he was a retired river guy there from Paducah area that would trip for us now and again. And him and Bob, those were the two guys that I remember specifically. But I also remember that those guys at certain points in certain points or times that they rode, I remember seeing their paychecks and being very impressed. Of course, my wife did payroll at the time, and I was crew dispatcher, so I saw what riverboat guys made, and I was like, oh man, interesting. Well, I'm rattling this morning, but I'm just enjoying the scenery. I would probably be doing about the same thing if I weren't recording it. Just checking things out. That's just neat. I have my binoculars. I'll be watching the bank for varmints and critters, and yeah, it's. I'd probably have a podcast going, and drinking my coffee, and yeah, you can't beat it, y'all. Can't beat it. I was gonna keep a live stream on at least until the sun gets up, or till the fleet tugs head our way. They're moving around, looks like it. It won't be long, Grab. It won't be long. They'll be headed our way. We'll get this. Alright, thank you. Somebody wants to know. I generally write. They're wanting to know times. As a general rule, I ride about 30 days and take off about 30 days. Now, this time I actually came back. I came back a little early, and I'm gonna probably ride a little bit longer. But that's just working out my schedule, and yeah, that's kind of what I got going. see what else. I'm trying to read through some of the questions, y'all. Yeah, somebody's talking about they're from Gold Dust. Perry Sanders from Gold Dust. We'll be down that area later on today. Yeah. The river in, okay, 2 questions. Rob wants to know the river must change a lot in 30 days off. Yeah, it can, but at this point in my career, there's really, I don't, you know, I get a mental picture is if I'm going to catch a boat, I'll pull up Memphis on the lower. Usually I look at Memphis gauge and look at the next week forecast on it. And then it gives me a mental picture of what the river's doing. I'll look at Cairo, I'll look at Memphis gauges, and usually those 2 river gauges, they'll give me I can see those numbers and visual images of the river pop into my head of what I'm going to be dealing with. So, yeah, it may change, but really it's not anything. And then I'll get the first thing I do. Sometimes before I catch the boat, I'll go online and kind of see what the talk of, any problems on the river, stuff like that. But yeah. And then what was it? The weirdest thing you've seen on the river? Oh my gosh. I was thinking about that the other day. I'll just have to start telling some of the stories, man. I think the weirdest thing I've ever dealt with is we had a block of 9 barges coming out the Illinois River. I caught the boat. I was catching the boat at Wood River in the wintertime there. And long and the short, it was a block of 9 empties that had been setting up on the Illinois River in extreme cold water. I mean, extreme cold conditions, like sub-zero for like a week straight. And ice had formed up underneath that block of 4 barges, to where it was actually, it had to have been almost 10 or 12 feet of ice built up underneath the barges, and they were glued together they were froze together from the ice. But, Earl? Sounds good. You get that dust and they headed our way.
Alright. We got to move a load and then put a load in?
Nope. I got a rake back here squared off on starting on this port string. Bring that box around, stick it on there, and then I got a piggyback rake on that inside port. We'll just cap off that string with it. Just shift one. Bring out one, stick it in tow, and shift one. Anyway, so y'all here, I'm fixing to get busy this morning. Yeah. But the ice in there. I think I've got some footage somewhere of some of that stuff. But we came down in St. Louis Harbor. Long and the short, it run aground, empty tow, where there should have been plenty of water, and it ran aground, and it was one of the weirdest experiences. I didn't realize anything like that could happen, and it was something that the Coast Guard even I spent a lot of time talking to the Coast Guard about it because they actually understood what had happened too. It was something I didn't realize could ever happen, but they had heard stories of it. I was talking to the Coast Guard investigator because we actually ran aground and had some issues and this and that and other, but when you run aground mid-channel and you've got empties, that was one of the weirder situations. I had some situations with, seeing weird stuff in fog, and I've had some interesting. I'll start telling some of those stories. I'll get some visuals and
You go. Yeah,
tell some of that.
does that. But it don't need to be done like that.
That was probably one of the weirder things I've seen out here.
I'm sure the farm for yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
a lot of good.
All right, y'all. Yeah, it was a crazy. The deal with the ice building up underneath. It was so weird because it didn't. It was out of the realm of possibility of something that could happen. And then trying to wrap your head around what was going on. I had just got on, and yeah, it's a pretty long little story, but I'll tell it with visuals. I think I have some footage of stuff to show that may go along there. Look, little fog, little haze. See, look at that, man. Yeah, the country boy and me will have binoculars out looking for varmints in the mornings up along the riverbank, but I'm fixing to get a. You guys headed out, but you can't beat that. Man, it's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, and this, I've had so many questions about the level. Look, that's as far as I know, that's used for construction, little projects and the wood projects in the wheelhouse. I don't need that. That's not necessary to see. You can see if you're off, if we're not level. Doors don't stay shut. You get stuff. You can tell if you're listing. I don't have to look at that to see. Yeah, I think that's just something that, to be honest, I don't know. It's not anything that I use for navigating. These vessels are, yeah, when you're listing the one side there. I just look back. You can tell if you're listing from the flagpole. And things roll across the floor. You can tell. It's so that's really not. I don't use that for anything navigating. I don't know if Bobby does, but I think that was just there for some of his little projects he's got going on up here. He's got he's got some tools and such. I mean, of course we got that. But yeah, I don't. That's what I've had so many questions about that level. Yeah, I don't use it for anything for the wheelhouse for as far as navigate anything like that to tell if the boat's level. I don't. I mean, I can tell if the boat's level by just standing and looking. It's not a. Yeah. Well, I asked Bobby what his levels for up here. Had quite a few questions on it. Anyway, yeah, almost made it to sunrise. Yeah, the level. Yeah, I'm on the level. Okay, folks. I meant to ask Bobby about that. He might use it to tell if the boat's level up here. I don't know. I've seen those on boats, and I know something like tugs and stuff, but these big boats, you can tell. I mean, the doors will swing open or don't stay shut. Stuff will roll across the floor, and you can tell. You can tell if you're not level. Number one, you can see your jack staff, you know, but it's not anything that's necessarily need a level to. Golly, y'all, come on. Yeah, nice morning. Really nice. There's our buddy coming. Tug headed our way. Yeah, the barges. Somebody said that back to that little story. The barges were frozen together, but that wasn't the biggest issue. Is that there was 10 to 12. There was 12 feet of ice up under them, like an iceberg up under them. And I guess with the ice, the flotate, whatever, it didn't. They looked like they weren't setting any deeper or lighter in the water. They were setting like they should, but they could when they busted them up when they kicked the wires off. They had to, they had to ram them up on the sandbar and stuff to get them off, get them unbusted. How long? 1,000 foot. Those are 200 foot apiece. 200 foot, and we've got 5 long right here. Oh, hey, look at fog rolling in. Kind of pretty. Pretty. The sun will burn it off real quick. But yeah, those are 35 foot by 200, so 35, each one of them's 35 foot long and 200 foot long, 35 foot wide. So. Oh yeah, depth. Yeah, there you go. Somebody want to know how deep it is. There, I got my sounders still hooked up. So 55 foot right there. Yeah, 50 foot. Yeah, there you go, 50 foot right there.
I know, I just look back and touch.
Alright, there they come. Here they come. Getting a barge out of the fleet. I guess that's our barge right there. I didn't check numbers on it, but oh, look at that. That's just kind of cool. Kind of cool looking. See, right before the sun comes up. Yeah, just not a bad view this morning, y'all. Yeah, can't beat it. Can't beat it. Not a bad deal. Definitely not a bad deal at all.
Hello stations. This is U.S. Coast Guard Western Rivers, Coast Guard Western Rivers. For Coast Guard scheduled broadcast, just from channel 22 Alpha, frequency 157.1 MHz.
Oh yeah, it is nice. It is nice.
Hello stations. This is U.S. Coast Guard Western Rivers, Coast Guard Western Rivers. The maritime security level is 1. The following safety advisories are for the lower Mississippi and Arkansas River. Salvage work is being conducted during daylight hours in the vicinity of mile marker 306, left ascending make on the lower Mississippi River. Mirrors are transit with caution. On-scene personnel will be standing by on channel 13, 16, and 88 Alpha.
let me throw this rigging here on this boat real quick.
You want us to bring this rigging that's on this barge with us there, either one?
How much you got?
The Barry Cross Bridge at mile 119.6 Arkansas River is closed to navigation due to electrical failure. Further information,
It don't matter. I can
bridge will be seen on channel 14 or 16. That includes the Coast Guard scheduled broadcast. All information is available upon request by contacting Coast Guard West Service. Telephone 314-269-2332 or channel 16. This is Coast Guard West Service.
I'm down to the outside 4.5 on that time, just so.
Roger, yeah.
Yeah, not too bad a deal. Not too bad a deal. Sun coming up. So we'll be bringing our barge around. Let's see, get all our logs going here. Get everybody logged in before the work gets, or as the work started. Look at that sunrise. Look at that sunrise, man. Look at that. Can't beat it.
We've been, making just a little under 5 on an average. I got you. Well, I think we're making less than that, so. If I kill him right here, if we get ahead of me while we wait, that way you can go on. All right, I'll go ahead and jump around you there and go to the boogie.
Yeah, that's a pretty sight. That's a pretty sight. Just enjoying it. See, I'm glad I get to. There. Well, sorry. Trying not to make it so jerky, but there.
Lady Louise, her interest.
Come on.
Log me on 17 or citizen.
Right.
Six rigging you gonna have right there.
We got 2 sets here, there, Cap.
2 sets here and 2 sets back there.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Plus, there's an extra strap there on the stern as well.
There's an extra strap back there where Adam's at.
Yes, sir.
Catch that there, either one. You'll have 2 sets on each end of this barge you're gonna get.
Right, that'll be fine.
You'll need to stop in there and grab some more rigging.
Yeah, I'll throw one more set on that upper end.
Alright.
He just got to knock this one wire out there, Johnny. I just want to see what kind of rigging he had. I'm going to go down here and get this other load and get ready to move it. Alright.
Yeah, the sunrises are pretty cool. Sunrises are pretty cool. The calm before the storm. We got work to fix the crank up. We got 2 tugs getting on us. Fellas headed out there.
Knew you out there, Junior.
Alright, I got you down to your ass wire. Ready when you are, man.
We're going, what kind of rigging's out there?
We got 2 sets out here, and of course 2 sets back there where you're at, plus 1 strap.
1 6, 1 strap, what the lowest one.
Tug will be coming around the head there shortly.
I'm walking down and I have to pull that counter up off that barge we got to shift so you guys can fix that.
Yeah, we fixing to run around there. Get a hold of that brake. We'll top that box off.
Sorry, y'all.
Alright, Cap, if you could, you just ride back over to your port there.
Sorry about that. See, he's gonna move it. There's a tug will bring their pickup around right there. My finger right there, and then that one out there. He's gonna get a barge, and he's gonna get a barge out there and bring it over here after that other one gets there. So, hold on. There, we're gonna put a barge right there, and then he's gonna grab that one out there. I was trying to point with my pencil in front of the camera. Didn't do too great.
Be careful, it looks like it's sleek. Right.
There. I can do this. I have abilities to set the camera down there. There, a little better.
call on, all gone.
Okay, you got a line out there, kid?
I got a line out here, yes, sir.
Well, that's about that. That's about that. I think I got a good sunrise and yeah,
Catch a line,
not a bad morning.
call in, tell you what they
Y'all have a good morning and a good day.